Let's discuss about certain mimics in ECGs. These are nothing but 2 or 3 conditions which look alike, but they are completely different. Their mechanism is different, their pathology is different, and their treatment aspects is also different. First, we will look at ventricular fibrillation. Looking at this ECG, you are able to clearly say that there is no proper baseline. No baseline. Or the baseline which is formed is undulating. And there is only fibrillation and not proper contraction of the ventricles. As a result, proper QRS complex is not formed. This is because the ventricles are trying to contract, but they are not able to have a proper complete depolarization and proper complete contraction also. P waves are absent because it is the activity involving the ventricles and not with the atrium. So this is ventricular fibrillation. You commonly see ventricular fibrillation during cardiac resuscitation techniques, and DC cardioversion is the treatment of choice. Next is Stargardt D pointers. It is a polymorphic ventricular tachycardia due to prolonged QT interval. By polymorphic, I mean that these ventricular complexes are different in morphology continuously. So they are called polymorphic. And ventricular because of QRS duration more than 120 milliseconds and absent P waves. Tachycardia with a heart rate more than 100. Apart from this, you are able to note a clear pattern that there is waxing and waning over the complexes. This is waning and this is waxing over the complexes. This Stargardt D pointers might be caused by some common drugs like antipsychotics, levofloxacin, moxifloxacin, ciprofloxacin, amitriptyline, or imipramine, because they prolong the QT interval. And if QT interval goes more than 460 milliseconds, then there is a high chance for producing arrhythmias, like Stargardt D pointers. Let's see one more case scenario. 70-year-old Mumtaz, a known case of ischemic heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, CAD, Parkinson's disease, came with complaints of chest pain and palpitation for past 1 hour. BP is 120/70 millimeter of mercury. Her ECG shows. Just for an instance, this looks like a patient with ventricular fibrillation, but BP is so stable. We don't expect that to happen in ventricular fibrillation because the ventricles are not at all contracting efficiently. Then how would it produce a BP? If you note clearly, there is a catch. Lead 2 shows sinus rhythm with sinus complexes. P waves present with a proper QRS complex with P waves upright in lead 2. This is based on the concept that 12 lead surface ECGs capture the cardiac activity from different directions. For example, V1 captures the cardiac activity from the right side. V6 captures the cardiac activity from the left side. But it is the same cardiac activity which is captured by all the 12 leads. So this is the same activity which is going on in all the leads. For example, this sinus complex is captured both by V3 and V2 and V1. So by checking all the leads, we are able to say that there is a sinus rhythm which is going on. Then what are these things without a proper baseline, undulating baseline? What are these things which look like post ventricular fibrillations? They are nothing but motion artifacts. These motion artifacts are produced due to tremors of the Parkinson's disease. Then why lead 2 is normal? Because lead 2 is formed between right arm and left leg. Probably these tremors would not have involved these two limbs, as a result of which lead 2 is completely free of these motion artifacts. So once you have a pattern like this, always check all the leads, so that if any one of the lead has a sinus rhythm, then it points towards a motion artifact. If all the leads have the same pattern, then we can have ventricular fibrillation as our first diagnosis. Thank you.